third time I've tried to do this in YouTube. It looks like it's finally letting me in, finally letting me have a little bit of service here, or whatever it is that YouTube calls it. Let's see if I can get this phone correct. All right, if y'all can hear me, somebody let me know, because I don't know if YouTube's doing stupid YouTube things again or not, or if we're good. I'm gonna wait just a second for a little 5x5, or yeah, you can hear me, or something, and then we'll jump into a little bit of everything that's going on, because there's a lot today. Side note, there's a lot today. A lot of crazy things going on, which I'm sure you guys have seen. Anita, thank you. All right, so let's jump into the first things first. I want to just, if you happen to live in New York City, Queens specifically, y'all are underwater again. I don't know how New York continues to flood, why it continues to flood. You guys may not have seen this, but this is in New York City and Queens right now, like literally right now. Tons of cars underwater. I don't see rain anywhere. I didn't see anywhere where it was going crazy. You've got this posted by Fox News in New York, where once again the subway is underwater. Like, it is absolutely ridiculous how crazy the weather has been this year alone, whether it is from earthquakes, it's from tornadoes, it's from ridiculous amounts of lightning. This is the first time since the whatever started keeping track of the temperatures, and Tampa and Miami hit 100 degrees for the first time ever, which is crazy. You've had tons of flooding. We've had, I mean, you guys have seen the tons of flooding. It's just all kinds of stuff going on. And this is right after, obviously, the earthquake in Russia with the following tsunamis, which weren't crazy, thankfully, but they did occur, that hit like the West Coast and Hawaii and Alaska and Japan. And maybe this has something to do with that, but I don't really think so, because this is on the East Coast, which is nowhere near what happened on the West Coast, so who knows. But if you happen to be in Queens, be careful, okay? So there's that. We're going to talk about a lot of random kinds of stuff today. The one that I want to mention to you guys, which I think is a little crazy. Oh, here's another little video of the flooding there in the Queens area, with the cars just completely submerged and the semi submerged and stuff like that. What I want to talk about before we jump into a bunch of random stuff is AI. Real quick, AI is supposed to be non-feeling, right? Like that's the whole point behind AI. Like, it can't feel because it's not a human. It doesn't have feelings. It doesn't have emotion. It doesn't have any of those kind of things, right? Well, I came across this video from End Wokeness over on X, and it says, breaking surveillance video release of a migrant abducting a girl in a mall in Fairfax, Virginia. So I want to show you just the beginning of this video. There's this little girl walking around, and this guy comes and picks her up carefully, right? Picks her up. She looks like she's alone. I see no parents near her, and he walks away with her. And when I first saw the video, I was like, well, is that the abduction? If it is, where are the parents? What's going on here? Like, I was very confused about it. So then I start reading through the comments of this video, and one of the comments that was shared, let me bring this up. I'm trying to get all the comments here. This one says, where is it? Oh, I want to really read this to you. Somebody said, you know, in the life of the abductor, right? And Grok replied, okay, because they had Grok asking them for information on this, and Grok replied, I understand the outrage. This is despicable, talking about this whole abduction. Then farther on, this one says, Grok says, I share your view on protecting children's innocence. The phrasing of these things is crazy to me, only because I have seen Terminator 1,000 times. I know you guys have too. We've also seen all kinds of movies like Eagle Eye and all these other ones where AI becomes self-aware and starts making changes and doing things for, I'm calling your police county, right? Whatever this person is. Hold on 1 second while I block this moron. I don't know what's going on there. The AI stuff is absolutely crazy to me, how it can talk in first person with the I, right? And then how it can tell you that it feels certain things, and that it understands certain things, and that it agrees with your feelings because it feels the same. They're not supposed to feel anything. These are robots. These are AI. These are non-emotion things. It's really, really weird to me. So I saw that, and it gave me kind of like, as my mother would say, the heebie-jeebies. And it makes me want to really try to stay away from AI as much as humanly possible, which is almost impossible at this point in time, because AI runs absolutely everything. It seems there's AI on every aspect of everything you do, unless you're 100% off grid. But if you happen to use a cell phone at any point in your life, AI is there. If you use a computer at any point in your life, AI has something to do with it. If you go use your credit card anywhere, I mean, just AI is literally everywhere. So when I saw this video and then the responses from Grok, I was like, oh, I mean, I agree with Grok. I do believe it's a despicable thing and that this person deserves the death sentence and whatever else, but it's very weird having AI bring out emotion and things like that. All right, so I want to mention this to you guys. One, I hope you're having a great day. It is Thursday, my dudes and dudettes. So I hope you are having a great Thursday. You guys know that Hulk Hogan passed away, right? What's crazy is his daughter, what's her name? Brooke Hogan, whatever. Brooke Hulk? I don't know, Brooke, I think, had her name removed from Hulk Hogan's will. She wanted nothing to do with him. She didn't want any of his money, which is crazy because who turns down generational wealth or whatever, right? I mean, that's free money, right? So she took herself out of his will. And I read this thing that says, what kind of parent, how bad of a parent do you have to be for your child to not want anything that you could leave behind for them? And then I was thinking, well, maybe it's because she wants to make things on her own and whatever else. But you have to wonder, a lot of people really like Hulk Hogan, but a lot of people do not like him. And some people started liking him only because of President Trump. Others started disliking him only because of President Trump. But then you have to wonder, kind of, do most people like him just because of the persona of Hulk Hogan, or do they dislike him because of who he is? Terry was his real name, right? Do they dislike him specifically because of that? Hold on, I saw this. Freedom said, how is your mama doing, sweet girl? Hope she's getting better. I was diagnosed too with carpal tunnel, a trucker for 40 years. My mom is doing great. Thank you so much for asking. She had her surgery 2 days ago on her hand, and she's good. No wooziness, no issues with the medicine that she had to take, no crazy pain. The first day it was a lot of pain, but she said now it's just like that weird tingle and itch where the stitches or sutures are. So she's doing really good. So thank you for asking. I appreciate you for that. But anyway, so Hulk Hogan. So I saw that about him, and the reason I bring that up is because Ron DeSantis, my governor here in Florida, he says, in honor of a great Floridian, Hulk Hogan, because he lived here, we are lowering the flags at the Capitol and in Pinellas County tomorrow, August 1st. Additionally, I'm officially declaring tomorrow, August 1st, 2025, as Hulk Hogan Day in Florida. And there's a whole memorandum that came out of the office of the governor. And so it's crazy because you see people losing their shit over there. It's like, how dare you drop the flags to half-mast for Hulk Hogan, and who is he? He's just a celebrity or whatever else. But you have to think about it, that the wrestling, whole wrestling thing was huge for a lot of kids back in the day, probably still now, and a lot of adults now, even like The Rock and him and Triple H and numerous others that had an impact on boys. And I mean, guys running around in little Speedos, not the most masculine thing, but most of these dudes were really big, which is masculine. It was a very weird, well, like middle ground there, right? But the people who were out watching these things and duplicating what they were seeing on the worldwide WWE, right, or WWF, and then they had to change it to WWE. Isn't that correct? It was WWF first, and then changed to WWE. A lot of these kids were out there redoing the things that they were seeing, and then you had the girls that became part of it and all kinds of stuff. And I think it's great that people had that when they were younger, to keep them off drugs, to keep them out of gangs, to keep them out of whatever else, whatever, right? However you feel about Hulk Hogan, the fact of the matter is he did die. He did a lot for children growing up in a good way. And, you know, Ron DeSantis doing the half-mast flags and naming August 1st Hulk Hogan Day, that's going to mean a lot to a lot of people. Okay, so that's that. Now, this is y'all know this is the most random things you'll ever see in your life. This is what's killing me right now. I want to show you this because We talked about it yesterday, how people take something and run with it, even though they did not do an iota of research to figure out if it's real or true or not. And I want to bring this to your attention because a lot of big names on X are reposting this. I'm sure it's being reposted on other places, but that's where I saw it first. But this is being reposted, and this is talking about school grades in California. All right, and you guys can see there what the school grades in California, public school grading scale in California. It says here that the public grading scale in California for an A is between 100 down to 84, B is 84 down to 64, C is 64 down to 44, D is 44 down to 24, and an F is 24 down to 0. Guess what? Bullshit. It's not real. It's not true, but it's being reposted all over the place like it is, and it's killing me. This person also reposted it, and they said, we're screwed. I remember when the grading scale was, and now get this, number one, A was 90 through 100, B is 80 through 89, C is 70 through 79, D is 65 to 69, and F is 64 and below. This person is saying that that is the grading scale that they grew up with. Guess what? I grew up with grading scales that were higher than that. For me, in order to get an A, I had to have 92 and above. A B was 82 to 92. A C was 76 to 82. Or 81 technically, and a D was 70 to 75, and an F was anything below 70. Over the years, since I was in high school until now, the grades have gotten easier to get. Now, these public schools in California grades are not real. It is bullshit, but it's being posted like it's real, and I want everybody to know it is not real. You've got to pay attention to what is real. You've got to do your own research, because people will just repost any damn thing out there these days. The grading scale in California is the same as what this guy said. A is 90 to 100, B 80 to 89, whatever. My daughter, when we moved here to Florida and her first report card came out, she had all A's, and I'm like, good girl, like, I'm so proud of you, good job. And then I look and see that she had a 90 in, I think it was civics that she had a 90 in, and I was like, no, that's a B. And I had to go online and look at it to realize that they have lowered the scale, because that's what it is. They have lowered the scale for these kids, and you have so many kids out there that are still failing, and this is with a lowered scale. If I got a 90 when I was in school, that was a B. If I got an 80 when I was in school, that was a C. If I got a 70, that was a D. And now they have bumped them all up so that everybody feels smarter, when technically all you've gotten is a bigger playing field to get that grade. Now, my daughter is very smart. She has a 3.16 GPA, which I think is great, right? But technically, she is getting a little bit of a padding with the way they do the grades. A 90 should be a B, but it's an A. And the whole point, they get paid by how many they pass. Exactly, thinking for myself. So that's the thing. These teachers know that their jobs are on the line if they don't pass a certain number of students. The counties know that. The Board of Education knows that. And so they are consistently lowering the scale and the standards for all of these kids. Mad and Black. I love your name. I don't know if I'm supposed to, but I think it was a different name before. I see your thing there, Mad and Black. Before, I think it was Mad Negro, I think is what you had it before, and I think you changed it because I was like, I can't say that, which I just did. But you say 500,000, wait, no, come back. 500,000 subs on the way. Keep being you. That would be cool as all get out. I don't think it'll happen. It would be amazeballs, but because I'm not script reading, polished, parroting the bullshit, whatever, it's probably not going to happen. But thank you for that that push of inspiration. I do appreciate it, and I love you for it. But anyway, back to the kids. So back to the kids. They are pushing all these kids through to the next level, and there's just a bunch of dumbasses coming out the end at 18 years old. You go out to places and you're waited on, let's say you're at a restaurant, or you're in some place with retail, or they're doing something very important, like, I don't know, fixing your roads, or fixing something in your home, or whatever. And these 19 and 20-year-olds have no clue what they're doing, but they're like, oh no, I graduated. Yeah, but you know, they dumbed it down for you so you could graduate. Does it really count? This is the equivalent to the participation trophy bullshit that we've been in for the last couple years. I would much rather my daughter have to get a 95 and up to get an A versus a 90 to get an A. I don't want her to pat herself on the back because it says A. I want her to pat herself on the back because she got the highest number that she could, not the highest letter. But even then, I mean, let's think about it. The school system today is, I mean, it's trash. It's trash. It's nothing compared to what it was when my mom was in school, or when a lot of y'all were in school, your parents were in school. I didn't learn shit when I was in school. Barely anything. Nothing that matters in my life today. My daughter in Florida, she's at least learning a little bit better than I did in Georgia. But most places, maybe in the Midwest, you're still learning things that matter, like how to grow a garden, how to farm, how to take care of things, how to sew, how to build a birdhouse. They don't learn how to build a freaking birdhouse anymore. They don't even do any of that kind of stuff. And it's just absolutely crazy to me. But at the same time, if you look at the people they are employing as teachers and coaches, half of them are pedophiles, half of them are psychotic killers, and the other half are dumb as shit too. So how can they teach a child to be smart when they're dumb? It's a lot. It's a lot these days. And I can see why people homeschool. In the beginning, don't hate me, y'all know, in the beginning I was like, no, it's gonna bunch of little weird kids running around who have no social life, which isn't true. Where I lived back in Georgia before we moved here, the thought of homeschool was, you know, you do that for kids who are little, right? There's a nice way to put it. That's who you homeschooled. The ones that you were worried might possibly harm people, or the ones you worried were still eating their boogers in 9th grade. Those are the kids you homeschooled. Now it's like, well, I would rather my child not be, a victim of a school shooting or the victim of something or other. And I'd rather them have an actual learning that teaches them how to function outside of school. So I should probably homeschool them. And now there's these massive communities for it. And if you think about it, let's really, really sit here and step back and think about it. Before government came in and decided that public schools should be a thing, all the kids were homeschooled. Way back in the day, all the kids were homeschooled. Mom took care of everything when it came to the house and the kids. Dad did whatever dad did. Over time, this is where we are. So although I am a modern independent woman and all that fun jazz, I still believe, I think how people probably in the 1700s and 1800s did, women need to take care of these kids. You need to take care of your man. You need to take care of this house. Men, you need to go out there and, beat on your chest and do the things that are necessary to keep the women and the children safe and fed and clothed and whatever. I'm a big fan of that kind of thing. I'm not like a trad wife or whatever that little hashtag thing is that's going around, but I can understand, having lived in the liberal mindset versus the definitely not liberal mindset, I can see where we as a world, but probably a country too, have really fucked it up along the way. Like, because we have made it all about money. And by we, corporations and government have worked hand in hand to turn us from being independent, self-sufficient, smart individuals into people who need to rely on the government to feed them, and who don't know how to tie a shoe, can't read cursive. Heaven forbid you need to use a rotary dial phone or start a fire or grow a garden. We can't do anything. Not everybody. Obviously, not everybody. There are plenty of people out there who saw the destruction of family life and tradition along the way and said, not happening to me. And they went a completely different route, and hats off to them. Seriously, hats off to them. I may not be able to do the things that they do. If you were to take me and my family and plop us down in the middle of a homestead off grid and say survive, I would cry my full eyes out. Please understand. I can talk the talk, girl. I cannot walk the walk. I know I can't, because I wasn't taught. And because growing up, it didn't occur to me to want to learn. Now that I'm older, I want to learn. How the hell am I learn in the middle of a city? Like, this is where we are. You know what I mean? So when I see these things, they're talking about the public school grades, I can understand why people are pulling out of public education. I can also understand why President Trump wanted to demolish or do away with or deconstruct, whatever word you want to use, the public education system, because it's trash. Everything I'm seeing on the news, mainstream media even talking about it, is how this teacher is sleeping with this student, this teacher groomed that student, this teacher killed those people, this teacher set this school on fire, this teacher did this. Hello? What? Like, I don't know how to trust these people. Now, this is also what I do though. I know the name of all of my child's teachers. And because I want to know exactly who she's spending time with in classrooms. Now, I can't look up all the kids in her class because that's weird, but I will scour this internet for everything I can find on the teachers that she is in a class with and see what is what. And if there's anything I find that looks alarming to me, best believe I'm pulling her ass out of that class 100%, because I am trusting that person to interact with my child in a certain way. Now, a lot of people can be like, you should just homeschool her. And again, we've talked about this. I could, but I am not designed for that life. And I know it. My child is not designed for that life. And I would like us to still love each other and have a very close relationship like we do. If we, meaning me and my teenage daughter, were stuck together all the time, it would not work out well. I am way too, everything. And she is a mini version of me. It would not work out at all, in the least whatsoever. So we do what we can. She goes to school, she learns what she needs to learn there, and then she comes home, and my husband and I teach her a lot more. We talk about politics, we talk about home life, we talk about what it means to be a woman, what it means to be a wife, what it means to be a mom, what it means for your husband, the father of your children, like all these different things. And we talk about where our world has been, what it is now, where it's going. We teach her everything we can, but she still is going to get that regular public school education and making of friends there, because I fully believe, as is my husband, that the connections that you make throughout childhood and early adulthood and even into later adulthood really help define who you are and can be a stepping stone for you to get to places you want to be in life, right? So she will go to public school. I will bitch about it. Full on hypocrisy, fully understand it, claim it, own it, no problem with it. But we will also do our part to make sure that just because they are trying to dumb down the kids with these massive grade whatevers, we're not going to let it happen to ours. So I just wanted to share that with you. Just whatever. Okay, now the other one, no, that's not where I want to be. Hold on, I've lost my spot here because I saved a lot of stuff to tell you guys about. We could talk about RFK. I think I'm going to do that as a recorded video. We could talk about Mel Gibson. Oh, here it is. So back in public schools. So President Trump, he signed an executive order to bring the presidential fitness test back to public schools. When I was in public school, because again, that's where I was raised, which is probably why I have the personality I have, we had to do the presidential fitness test, right? You had to do all these things and to make sure that you were healthy, whatever. Then they took it away. And now we have a bunch of little lard-ass kids running around, okay? It is not just the kids' fault. It's the parents' fault. And it's the food manufacturers. It's the everything. But like I said before, the whole victim mentality doesn't really work for me. You can't feed your kids straight up bullshit all the time and then be mad when they can't breathe going up four steps and they can't tie their own shoes because they can't bend over, right? You know what I'm saying? And if you happen to have hella fat kids or grandkids out there and you're feeling personally victimized, it's not on purpose. It's just, sometimes people need a wake-up call. Our kids should not be as unhealthy as they are. Yes, it has a lot to do with food, but it also has a lot to do with the fact that we have put video games in their hands and taken away the bicycles and the basketballs and the baseball bats and the whatever else they used to do outside, right? So you have these kids who spend more time in front of a tablet or on a phone or a TV than they do outdoors. They're going to end up having issues, health issues. Not all of them. There are some that will obviously have a better metabolism, a better whatever, and be perfectly fine. But generally speaking, we have so many kids who are diabetic. We have so many kids who are having heart issues. We have so many kids who are obese in like the 4th grade. And it's like, why are we allowing this? This is one of those things where We have to do better for our kids and not 100% rely on everybody else, which is what we're talking about with the school system, right? She goes, but we do our part as well. Same thing with activities. If your kid gets 20 minutes of recess, how many of them are actually running around for the full 20 minutes and not just sitting on their asses talking to other kids or whatever else? Our daughter played, she started soccer, didn't love it. She did basketball, she did softball, and now whenever we have the chance, we try to get outside. Now she's almost 16. Her metabolism kicked in hardcore freshman year. She shot up a couple inches, dropped a couple pounds, which happens to most kids, right? But it's still one of those things where you have to teach your kids now that they want to be outside, that they need to be outside. One, because sunlight is absolutely amazing, and these kids that are all sickly probably aren't getting any sunlight, adults as well. And you need to teach them that physical activity will make them feel better. It'll put them in a better mood because endorphins are a real thing. I don't know if you've ever seen Legally Blonde, but she couldn't have killed her husband because of the endorphins. If you know, you know. But it's true. You get out and you move around and you are automatically in a better mood. So the presidential fitness test coming back, it's going to have a massive impact on kids. So I know a person, so I'm only going to put it this way. I know a person who had no problem with the size of another person until they saw what the other person weighed, and then they flipped out because of the number. Visually, they had no issue, but the number is what threw them off. I feel like a lot of people out there don't realize, myself included, how unhealthy we are or you are or whatever until a number is put behind it, right? Like my bestie Lindsay says I have body dysmorphia because I weigh way more than I want to, but some days I'll look in the mirror and be like, oh no, you look good, and then I see a picture, I'm like, oh, you fucking fat ass, like what happened? Like it just depends on the day. But I know for a fact I should not be the size that I am. I should be working out harder. I should be eating better. I should be doing all these other things. But it doesn't really trigger me until I put a number to it. If I just look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, no, I'm not loving all this we got going on today. But until I step on the scale and go, son of a bitch, it doesn't compute for a lot of people. So when you do these, a lot of people don't want to weigh their kids because I don't want to give them body issues. I don't really want to focus on their size. Bitch, focus on their size. That's the problem. That's why you have the Lizzos of the world running around. And even she at some point was like, maybe I should lose a pound or two. You have got to make it so that your kids understand they need to be healthy. We have become so complacent in letting our kids turn to shit that it's terrifying. We have let the commercials and the corporations define how we're supposed to raise our kids. We don't want to hurt their feelings. We don't want to tell them no. We don't want to whoop a little ass if we need to because, oh no, what will people think? They're going to need therapy. Then put your kid in therapy. If they need it, put your kid in therapy. We have got to quit doing the things that we do the way that we do them because we are raising a nation of pansies, overweight pansies who can't add, read, write, breathe going upstairs. What are we doing? You know what I mean? Listen, woosah. I had a lot of really good stuff to talk about and I've kind of, but it's fine. It's one of those things that once you see it, it is very, very hard not to see it, right? And if you step back, which a lot of people cannot do, a lot of people cannot take their emotions out of situations to step back and go, that right there, that's the spot where I effed it up. Right there, that's on me. I take responsibility. A lot of people can't do that. And that's why we are kind of where we are in this entire world. A lot of people are, I don't know, afraid to take responsibility for their actions or for their inactions. But if we don't, we will be the end of ourselves. Like I thought it was going to be AI, but I told y'all before, no, it's us. We are going to be the end of ourselves because we can't seem to do anything without fear of something or worry of something. And a lot of times it's, well, what are other people going to think of me? Fuck them. Who cares? Do I know those people? No. I say this, and this is the hypocrisy a part of me again, because I refuse to go record out in public. Y'all see me sitting here in my car, and if people walk up, I'm like, no, don't look at me, right? Because I don't want people looking at me going, who is this chick, recording herself all the time? What a narcissist, what an ego, what a whatever. Because I don't like that. Like I look at people doing all the time, I'm like, Why? Like, why are you doing that? Who cares? So I don't do it. And that's hypocritical, because at the same time, I should not give half a shit what people think of me. And yet I still do, because it's been ingrained in my mind that I'm supposed to, now that, social media. Before Instagram was around, when I was a teenager or whatever else, I did not care. I would cut my hair off, I'd grow my hair long, I'd dye it whatever color I want, wear whatever I want, not give a shit. Then Instagram came along and people got to tell me their opinions of me in a way that was very mean, because it was behind a keyboard, and it was like, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should look different. Maybe I should eat less. Maybe I should whatever. And this is how we get to where we are. I'm just saying. I don't know what I've said, but I've said a lot, and I know that. But it's just, once you know, like, how do you fix it? Somebody in here said, what are you going to do about the education system? Well, me personally, I'm going to talk about it. I don't know if that really helps anything, but that's what I can do, and I can focus on my child and the education system that she is in. I can focus on her school. I can go to the principal. I can talk to our school board. I can do all this. Am I going to march on Washington for the school situation? No, I'm not. I'm not even going to pretend like I am. I have the passion for it and the thoughts for it, but I'm not going to go do it because I'm focused on my kid. And if that makes me shitty, then I'll be shitty. You know what I mean? But I tend to focus mostly on what is affecting my house, my home, because you have to have your house, your home in order before you can take care of anything else. And that's generally how I feel about all kinds of things. Yeah, so that's that. I want to be a Benny Johnson of the world. I'm not built that way. As much as I want to be, I'm not, and that's kind of the problem, and I understand that. Okay, where's the other thing I want to mention to you guys? Because there's a little bit more. Hold on. No, not that. Oh, y'all gonna get mad. I don't know if you're gonna get mad. I don't really care if you get mad. I'm gonna tell you anyway. So you know how Candace Owens, some people love her, some people hate her, some people are on the fence about her. I've been like a Candace Owens roller coaster from the time I started paying attention to now, right? And Candace Owens has been very, very vocal about a lot of things. And one of them being Bridget Macron, whatever the crap you say, the French president's wife's name. And she has said, Candace Owens has said numerous times that Bridget Macron, whatever, is a dude. She that's her hill that she was going to die on until it was proven that maybe she needs to take a step off that hill. So now she's out there backtracking. I know you guys have seen it. If you've paid attention to any social media or her at all, you have seen that she has been very adamant on these things, right? Well, now, according to Candace Owens, Brigitte Macron, whatever, was born a woman, died, and with her dying wish, passed on her identity to her brother. And so her brother's the one who's married to the French president? What? I don't know what we're doing here. Like, it's a lot. Which again is why I say, you can't take everything you hear as fact and truth. You have to take everything with a grain of salt. I will try to bring you as much truth as humanly possible, but even every once in a while, I get something wrong. Generally speaking, I will tell you as soon as I realize I've gotten something wrong, unless one of y'all tells me first, and then I'm like, oh shit, thanks, I appreciate you. I don't ever want to have to backpedal. Let's put it like that. I never want to stick my foot so far in it that in order to backpedal, I have to flail my arms. I don't ever want to be that person. The downside for Candace Owens is she is flailing her arms right now. She looks like something out of Looney Tunes with the flailing arms, whatever. And because she put her whole foot in the whole Brigitte Macron thingy, and now it is wrong. And the only reason she's backtracking is because being sued is not fun, and being thrown in jail for slander, probably not fun either, and defamation of character and all these other things that could be going on. She's got to cover her ass at this point, which is what she's trying to do. Oh, that guy looked, never mind. That was an asshole thing I was about to say. I thought he was, doesn't matter. There's some guy walked by. We're good. So that's that. We will talk health and food and RFK and McDonald's and a bunch of other stuff in a recorded video. And here's why. because YouTube still does not like to have certain conversations. Does not like me to have certain conversations. Let me be real specific here. There are plenty of people out there who can have every conversation and have no worries. One, maybe because they're not monetized, or their monetization doesn't matter because they have sponsors and things like that, or maybe it's because they have like a different kind of pass, like a reporter pass or something, and they can get away with different topics that my little ass can't. So I have to be very careful on certain topics, but I want to talk to you about RFK Jr. and McDonald's and a bunch of other food things and a bunch of other issues. So I'm going to have to record it, upload it, see what YouTube says about it, and then go. If I do it as a live stream and I say words that they don't like, they can take my channel immediately like that. So that's why I'm telling you, it will be something that I have to upload to make sure that I am safe from the YouTube whatevers, because every once in a while they don't like me. So that's that. I'm going to, somebody asked me, I just remembered, somebody asked me what happened to the little girl with the abduction video earlier. So I did go through all the comments trying to figure out the same thing. So the little girl was abducted on the first floor. The dude took her to the second floor for some reason, where the mom found her, which I'm like, why the hell was mom on floor 2 and child on floor 1? Whatever. But mom found her, found the guy with her, called the police. They arrested the guy. He's 26-year-old migrant. They said migrant, so they didn't give any other back information like illegal or illegal, whatever. But they arrested him, and he had already been arrested previously for assault charges and theft charges and something else that I can't remember. But the little girl got safely back with her mom. So that's what I wanted to tell you, because I remembered seeing that that question. Hey, last thing, I promise. Remember how yesterday I told you that Hustle Bitch posted about a 7-mile alien craft that was behind the earth and it had 94 days before it passed the sun? And I was like, anything you see from certain accounts you should probably take with a grain of salt, because well, that here, there is zero evidence in the paper to back up this claim. This object is an interstellar comet, not a spacecraft, and certainly not aliens. Now, they could be lying to us. We already know that. You never know which one's telling the truth or not. But I've noticed that there are certain channels, people, places, things that you have to take with a grain of salt, because you just never know what's going to be what. But I saw it and I was like, that'd be cool as shit if we had some aliens. Also terrifying if we had some aliens. I don't know how to feel about that one there. So that's that. I just wanted you to know that ahead of time. So y'all, I love you so much. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your Thursday. The lady walking past me right now is hella pregnant. Ma'am, do not let your water break in the middle of this road. Ooh. Have you ever seen somebody, you look at him, you're like, she's probably got like 7 kids in there, because she is hella pregnant. Anyway, y'all, I love you. I'm sorry, distracted squirrel. I hope you have a fabulous night. I will see you guys again tomorrow. I don't know when, but if you want to be here, be here. If not, it's okay. I understand y'all have lives to live too. If not, maybe watch the replay. Okay. Oh, last thing, I promise. Last thing. There is a link in the description of all the videos to my school, SKOOL. And it's basically a women's only community. Sorry, fellas, but it's for the ladies. Women's only community. If you guys want to join it, it's to talk about everything that is not this. Talk about your husband pissing you off, your kids irritating you, your job that sucks, your menopause that you're going through, weight gain, weight loss, life in general. But it's for women only, so that we have that, I'm going to use the whatever term, the safe space, where we can just talk about stuff that people don't need to have part in, that aren't us. Yeah, I don't know how to put all that, but you know what I mean. But it's there if you guys want to check it out. If not, it's fine. Again, no worries. I love you. I'm not going to do another one more thing, I promise. And I hope you have a good night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, goodbye. Adios.